I'm muted, so I'm unmuting now. Welcome to Unlock Your Mama Power. It's so great to be here. I'm Laura. You are listening. If you're here right now, then you are tuned in to New Thought Media Network, this incredible network, broadcasting platform and ministry that is here shining its light and sharing out the power of spirituality and spiritual practice. And I get to be here. I'm so blessed a few times a week and twice a week with Mama Power. Unlock your Mama Power. We're unlocking here. This is the key. We've been on a lock-in, haven't we, for a while. Do any of these? Not really. So I'll just keep that one in. I'm really here. It's Tuesday morning. No, it's not. It's Friday. What am I talking about? It's Friday. I'm here in the UK. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. So for me, I'm kind of in the flow of my day. And for you, maybe you're also here in the UK, maybe not, maybe in Europe, maybe in the States, maybe in India, maybe in Africa, wherever you are, welcome in. I just feel so grateful and blessed to be here right now, sharing with you. How are you? How is your day going? How's your morning going? How are you feeling? So often we forget to tune in with our feelings. Oh my gosh. And these feelings are incredible, dynamic messengers. They're always here wanting to, remind us of what's going on within us. And we get very good at shutting down our feelings. In fact, we're trained, most of us, from an early age to kind of not acknowledge our feelings and to stay in the headspace with all the logic and not to really allow those feelings to be expressed. We suppress. And no more. Not if you're here, you're not suppressing. You're expressing and allowing those feelings to be heard, seen, revealed, because they have messages. And today I'm talking about menopause. Yes, I am. I'm allowed to talk about menopause. It's valid. I've studied it at a master's degree level. I have worked with many women in journeying menopause as through my business. Where years ago I was developing personal training, exercise and nutrition programs for women who were experiencing menopause and the early stages of osteoporosis. And so when I studied it for my business then, and I was in my 30s and I wasn't experiencing menopause at that time, when I was studying it and when I was working with women and realizing that, there were blocks to women wanting to take charge of their health and to feel good about themselves. And one of the major blocks was at that time, I'm now 57, so that's like 25 years ago I was doing that. And then I took a master's degree to understand. I wanted to understand these blocks. And what I found in that, and what I know for myself since, is that, there is this mass consciousness kind of evaluation of what menopause is. And we are geared into that. We are kind of suctioned into that programming of what it is. And the labeling of it is not particularly supportive. It's not particularly supportive. And so women have been kind of given these labels of being in menopause and having symptoms and having effects. And it's kind of, the peak, and then it's like the downhill path to not really living a full life, and all of these things that people have said and beliefs that society has held about what menopause is. And we take those on, we take on those messages because they are drip fed. They're drip fed in our culture, in our society, in our worldview. And then they're drip fed in by ourselves. We choose and decide to agree to make an agreement that that is what something is. And that's what we do until we then disagree and choose differently. So I'm going to stay on topic here because this is about menopause. And if you're listening, then I know that you're interested because it's something that maybe you're experiencing it, or maybe you know someone that's experiencing it and you're feeling kind of like a little bit unsure of what is going on. And I'm here to explain this from a spiritual perspective, because I think that's the way that I have been realizing this, especially since I have adventured menopause. The first thing I would like to say is that menopause is not age related. And so it's something that can happen for a woman, whether she's, in her 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It is not pinned down to a certain, age. So it can happen. It's a transformation process that happens within our bodies, within our whole psyche, within our whole being. It's a spiritual awakening. That's what I believe. And it can happen at any time. It can happen because it's enforced because of maybe an operation where ovaries are removed or the womb is removed or something. It could be something like endometritis where, we're forced to kind of look at our physical bodies and do what we need to do from a surgical perspective. And other than that, menopause will take its natural course, whatever that is, at whatever age. The thing for me is how we deal with this. It's like, are we the victims of this? Are we entering this with a victim consciousness, or are we entering this with a consciousness, with a really raised consciousness of knowing that, this isn't happening to me. It's not happening to me. It's happening for me. It's happening through me so that I can, and as me and through me, so that I can express myself in a different way, so that you can express yourself in a different way, with the knowing that as our bodies change, so is our understanding and our awareness of who we are. Many people have, I would say, enlightened experiences and during midlife and during menopause, because it's a time where we're literally allowing ourselves, or maybe not, we're given the opportunity, we're invited to let go of a whole way of being of who we were as we were operating at that time. Maybe, as the nurturer, as the mother, with that kind of possibility for fertility and pregnancy and birthing. And we are led to believe that as we enter menopause and we go into post-menopause, that then that's all stripped away and we're kind of like barren, empty and bare. Well, it is so untrue, because what happens is we're entering kind of a corridor where we are being given this opportunity to walk through a new door. You walk through a new doorway where we see our lives from a whole new perspective. And we can release the need to be hanging on to be the person that had to please others, that had to do it for others, that had to nurture others or bring others into this life. It's like we take back ourselves. You can take back yourself. And I know that in Eastern cultures and other cultures outside of the West, where women, where menopause is seen as a phase of life where women are absolutely invited into being the wisdom keepers of their societies, where it is something that women wait for because it's an empowerment. It's a time of empowerment where those women become the guides, if you like, the leaders of their communities. They become the wise women, the wisdom keepers, the people that can serve on a deeper and higher level because they have this almost like there's been this kind of like unleashing of a consciousness within them where they take pride in stepping forwards and not stepping backwards. And yet here in our societies, in most Western societies, women are clambering to kind of have themselves heard through this experience. And why I'm here and why I want to say this now is because I have many clients who are adventuring this life stage, and or not necessarily this life stage, but this experience of life. And maybe people around them don't understand it, or they don't understand it themselves, or they feel empowered and yet feel that they don't give themselves permission to really go for it. And I'm sure on some level, all of us, each of us do that. We kind of hold back because of a fear of this is a newness in me that I can't quite recognize, and I shouldn't be feeling this, or I shouldn't be experiencing this, and how dare I, step into this greater experience or this other experience. Who do we have here? Yes, Linda, welcome. Okay, Linda, you're here, and I'm going to put your message up here. And I want to put this up here because I just want to say I'm so, I really honor you for putting this message here. At age 70, I've survived menopause and now thriving. In retrospect, the physical changes took less emotional energy than the social and mental changes. Having a group of women friends was extremely helpful. I love this message. Thank you, Linda, for sharing this, because I know for many people, for many women, to actually share their experiences, especially like this on Facebook, is like something like wow. And for you to do this right here, thank you, because you're empowering and inspiring others to take permission within themselves to see themselves in a new and different light. Now, for me, journeying through menopause myself, I'm going to take this off now so I can be, that's it. Journeying through menopause myself and working with so many women who premenopause, perimenopause, premenopause, menopause, postmenopause, and that was my research project as well for my master's degree years ago. I realized that there was a languaging around this that I felt angry. I felt angry because there are words, you see, and the words are symptoms. We're having symptoms because menopause is a physical experience with an emotional experience and a spiritual experience and a mental experience. It's a holistic experience. And yet, when I was reading literature, that dated back maybe 100 years ago or 150 years ago, as I was reading this literature, I would be reading from scientific medical journals. I'd be reading things and up-to-date literature. I would read, symptoms. We have menopausal women have symptoms, and the effects are. That really angered me. It was like, they're not symptoms. Their experiences. Oh my gosh, you see, so we have been medicalized. That is the truth of it. We here in the West, we have been medicalized by a whole language that has kept us in a category of asymptomatic people, human beings, who are going through these effects because estrogen is diminishing, and so these are all of the effects. Well, I want to kind of pull the rug on that, because that really angered me, and that was what my whole research project was about. Because I know it's true, and you know it's true. That's why you're here. That how we think and how we feel about ourselves, that is the ripple that emulates from us. How we see ourselves and perceive ourselves, that is what we are in consciousness with and as. And that is what we draw in towards us. So I'm kind of on a mission here to change this languaging. And for you, whether you have been through menopause or whether you're going through it or whether you're in that wisdom keeper experience right now, to actually be of service right now to others, to other women, by changing that language and saying and knowing these aren't symptoms. We are not ill, we are not diseased, we are not going through some kind of like, oh, although there are days when we go through that, of course. It's not an illness. It is an experience, and we are allowed to embody that experience, embody the fullness of us, and to go with it and to be the keeper of that experience and to shine the light on that experience and to listen to the experience and take those steps that we are being guided to take. It's like spirit is coming through and we have permission to absolutely feel empowered in this moment, that we are not a symptomology. We're not a walking set of symptoms. We are going through an experience, and it is a treasured experience, and it is an awakening. It's an awakening into the new. I mean, that we talk about, emerging into a new paradigm. That's what happens through menopause. We emerge into this new paradigm. It is the metamorphosis. It is the butterfly, coming through from the goo, from the caterpillar, and the caterpillar, the goo, the metamorphosis. And in that goo experience, it's challenging. We're going to experience those changes in our body, the transformations, and yet we need to experience them. And the reason why it happens so slowly is so that we it's like a birth takes 9 months. Of course, a full birth, the 3 terms of a full, birthing process from conception to birthing, it's 9 months because our body needs to change and we're growing this beautiful spirit soul within us, and we are the vessel and we're holding that, and it's taking time for all of that to happen. And then here we go. I'm mid-sentence and I'm going to put this up here, and I'm going to speak on this in a moment. Thank you, Linda. And then what was I saying? And that's why menopause takes the time that it takes, because it can't just happen all of a sudden, because we would go into shock. We're in shock already with the experience. If it was slow, if it was quick, we would be like, oh my gosh, what's happened? What's happening? So it's a slow process where in increments, we become acclimatized and accustomed to a new way of being, holistically, our whole being. So here we go. I came to call hot flashes. We call them flushes in the UK. You call them flashes in America. I love it. Hot flashes, power surges. That's it. Mama power surges, I call them. That helped me shift my thinking. And isn't that amazing how by changing those 2 words, hot flash to power surge, that changes the whole intention of what is happening. That changes our consciousness, our awareness of the vibration and the consciousness of the whole meaning of this womanopause, this process that is happening to show us our strength, our gifts, our power, our greatness, our magnificence. And the thing about it is that when this is happening and when we're experiencing it, there will be things that change on the external, because it's like the chick, cracking through the shell of the egg. The egg shell has to break and shatter. Otherwise, the chick couldn't come out and be alive and live its life and have fun and do what it needs to do. So when we're adventuring this this spiritual awakening of menopause, our outer, what is seeming outer, there will be cracks. It will break down. It will crumble. We will feel as if our world has just gone full, and we're just like the rising phoenix coming up and re-investigating ourselves and relearning about ourselves. And that will have a ripple. And I know it's not an easy time for relationships, because there will be those around us that don't get it, don't want to get it, don't understand it, don't want to understand it. And there'll be times where we are confronted in a way with decisions, empowered decisions of who we choose to have in our lives, those that support us in this new life, in this new way. And those that don't, we are then invited to re-look at our lives and to say, well, is this person serving me? Am I serving this person? Is this really healthy now? And so it is a time of growth, and it is a spiritual awakening. And I know that for many, turning to our own knowing of spirituality, turning to that deeper knowing of who we are at this time, during this time of menopause, can be absolutely empowering. Absolutely empowering. It can be like the thing that it's like the icing on the cake, where we tune in to a deeper spiritual practice, to meditation, to prayer, to all of those amazing tools that we know and we use, visualization, visioning, reading self-empowerment books, self-development books, personal growth, and knowing the truth of who we are, knowing that this is an adventure. This is not a symptom process with symptoms. This is not something where we see ourselves as less than. This is an adventure where we know ourselves as more than. And that can scare people around us. That can feel intimidating for others that haven't known us in this way. And that's what Mama Power is all about. I'm here to remind you, Linda, if you're still here, I know you've journeyed this and you're amazing, and you're doing it, and you're actually listening, because I think that's a big part of it also, is listening to our bodies, listening to this newness that's coming through, listening to what wants to come forth and not denying it, and listening to our feelings. And that is what I said at the very beginning of this video. We squash our feelings, and as women, and I'm not being kind of gender specific here, even they, if we have been brought up as a woman, as a girl, as a child, as a girl, then there's something in the conditioning where and men as well, of course. I mean, I can only speak for women, because that's how I identify myself. So I know that, and I know that men also, aren't always able to express emotionally. And it's said that women can more easily. And yet I know generally, in general terms, we're not empowered and inspired to express our feelings. Our feelings are like, they're at the back end somewhere. They're kind of like dragging along, and you're lucky enough if you get the chance to kind of really acknowledge them. And we know that isn't the way to progress and to grow and to expand and evolve. We know that our feelings are as vital, because they're the messengers. They're here to tell us and show us. And that is why when we're experiencing those power surges in menopause, those hot flushes, hot flashes, power surges, I love that. I just love that. I would, during my experience of menopause, which I'm now, journeyed through, I would take each one of those hot power surges, love it. I would take each one of those as a learning experience for awakening. It's like there was a message, feelings would come up, emotions would come through. I would be inspired with thoughts, with ideas, with inspirations that I, it was like everything was alive for me when I got through this block of, oh my gosh, this is horrific. I can't stand this anymore. This power surge is happening all the time. How am I dealing with this? When I got past that and started listening to them, speaking with them, journaling with them, dialogue with them, owning them, I was owning me. It was like, wow, it was a whole new world. I wasn't trying to push this away and make it something that should go away. I invited it as a part of this amazing, incredible experience. Now, I'm not saying that made it easy. It didn't make it easy. It didn't mean it was an easy journey, because many things crumbled. My whole life changed, all sorts of things, relationships, my work, my home, so much broke down, so much crumbled. And I didn't go on to any kind of HRT or anything like that. I did it all very naturally. But what happened for me, as me, through me, is that I had a deeper understanding of who I am and my values and my integrities and me as a spiritual human being. So you may not go that far as I did. And that's fine. There's no judgment on how we self-manage this. However, the key here, the self-management that I'm really inspired by and empowered to teach here, is how we think about ourselves during menopause, how we feel about ourselves, and how we love ourselves. Yeah, how we love ourselves. This is all part of the process. So this is a Friday morning Unlock Your Mama Power. And if you've only just joined, welcome. We've got 2 minutes left. And so I'm going to be just kind of wrapping it up. I've really enjoyed being here today. So you're welcome to please to go back and listen to the whole half hour talking about unlocking your mama power, menopause. Any more quick comments before we go? If any of you are interested in knowing more, then I do have a website that you can go to and check me out, because now I really am all about I'm trying to get the thing up here, the banner, really helping or assisting women in menopause with their own spirit-led businesses to really embrace menopause and embrace your spirit-led business, and through knowing you and listening to your feelings, how you can really live life so meaningfully and so fully and so fulfilled, releasing all this languaging that is not the truth of who we are. It really, really isn't the truth of who we are. So thank you for being here, and it's great to have met you, Linda, and I will be back here on Tuesday with another Mama Power. We have a concert, me and Jason, tomorrow at 5 p.m. UK time, which is 10 a.m. Mountain time. It's a cosmic concert. The link to sign up for that is on the New Thought Media Network Facebook homepage, and you can sign in, come along to our Zoom concert. It'll be great to meet you. It's live on Zoom, so we get to interact and we share our songs, our transformational songs for 40 minutes with you, and we get to meet and have a little chat as well, which is good. So you can sign up to that, the Cosmic Concert with me and Jason, on Network's home page. Thank you, Linda. Love and blessings to you soon. I'll be back here same time next Tuesday. And if you love New Thought Media Network, which I know that you do, stay tuned in, because there are more broadcasts, more amazing shows coming up throughout the day and over the weekend. And you can find the link down below if you would like to give consciously to this expanding and evolving ministry, then do so by clicking on the link newthoughtmedia.org donate down below. Blessings to you and see you soon.